Howdy folks, Eonin here, and today I'm bringing you the QSP Grebe. This is an Apex group knife. Let's jump in with some specs on this. We've got 14C28N, we've got a black stonewashed clip point. It's a flat grind with full stainless liners that do have milling on them, and back spacers obviously. We've got some really nice blue micarta scales on this thing. Ceramic ball bearings is what it's riding on. It's a button lock. And we've got a reversible standard spring wire type clip, deep carry, as you can see. A few other specs on the knife. 3 inches of usable fine edge, 4 1/4 on the scale length, a tip to tail length of 7 1/4, and a weight of 3.7 ounces, so not too bad for a knife with full steel liners on it. Let's talk about my first impressions and likes. This is the first time I have handled one of these knives. First of all, it's a good looking knife, right? It's a solid looking carry piece, looks good. I love the blue micarta. QSP definitely does know how to do a good job on their micarta. All their micarta knives I've owned have been great. The blue ones especially look good. When this gets a little more patina on it, darkens up a little bit more. But this is basically a brand new knife, so it still looks great. We got good fit and finish on this thing. We've got a nice centered blade on the knife. There we go, bam. That looks good too. We've got a couple of deployment methods. So obviously you have a flipper tab, which works great. You've got thumb studs, and then obviously you can also deploy the knife with the button lock if you so choose, right? You can just kind of flick it out there if you want. But the flipper tab, the flipper tab works good, and the thumb studs also work great on this thing. There's no button stick on this at all, which is fantastic. Solid ergos on this knife. Here we are. I consider this a medium. My large glove size hands here and hammer grip, good. Still a little bit of scale back there. We've got meaningful jimping on the spine right here, which is really nicely done. The knife does feel really good. Fits in your hand really well for a knife this size. Again, I like the ergos on it. No button stick on this, although the button is a little firm, and I think that's a good thing because when it's deployed, the button does stick up kind of proud, but it is not easy to push down, and I just mean it's a little stiffer than some of the button locks out there, which I think is a good thing. You're not going to accidentally hit that with your finger, and it is, you know, fairly stiff there. That's a good thing. But I love the finish on the knife. I think they made good choices here with the stonewashed, the black stonewashed, or black wash if you want to call it that. They carried that through the entire design and then put these nice blue micarta scales on there. There are a couple different versions of this knife, but this one is a good example, I think, of what QSP is capable of doing in this price range. Again, comfortable, decent pocket clip, good EDC carry, good user, fits in your pocket well. I didn't find myself, in the little bit of time I have been able to have this knife and carry it, I didn't find myself having too much trouble with the button. It does stick up a little bit, as you can see it, so we can get that to focus. There we go. You can see it does stick up a little bit there, but I didn't find that to be a problem with EDC carry. I didn't accidentally press it or hit the button lock on it and release the blade. I haven't got to carry it a lot, as it is an Apex knife. Our time with these are limited, but it's a good feeling knife. Made a few basic cuts with it just to see how it cut. Again, we don't heavy use these knives because they are part of a review / pass around group. So let me talk about any dislikes that I might have with the knife. Really, for this level of knife, I can't really find any fault with it. I feel like, you know, they gave you a reversible pocket clip, some really good micarta, ceramic ball bearings, a couple different deployment methods, a solid button lock mechanism that doesn't have any lock stick on it, so that's a plus. I really feel like this knife really fits into their budget / affordable lineup, and it should be a durable knife for quite a good many years for anybody who's looking for a knife in this category. Let's do a couple size comparisons for you real quick. First, let's show you it next to another QSP knife that almost everybody who owns a QSP has, and that is the QSP Penguin, one of my favorite budget knives that there is. These knives are virtually identical in length. If I put them like this, boom, right? Perfectly identical in length. Gives you a good idea. The Grebe is definitely a little thicker than the Penguin. You can kind of see that by looking at the back of the knife like this. Let's see if we can get that down there a little further. You can see it's got a little more beef to it. There we go. A little more beef to it, a little more thickness to it than a Penguin has, which does feel good in the hands, especially if you have slightly larger hands. There's a little bit more handle area and thickness to get a good purchase on. But size-wise, just like the original classic Penguin. Let me show you one other knife that I put in a lot of reviews in this size range, and that is the Plain Jane blue Benchmade bug out, completely stock. You can see the bug out has almost the exact same amount of blade length, has just about the same amount of handle width. It sticks out slightly further than this, but so very much thinner than the Grebe. You can see how thin these two are. There we go. Right? Really thin on the bug out. And you know, bug out, a lot of people feel the bug out feels a little bit too flimsy with the stock Grivery / plastic handles on it. You will not get that feeling out of this knife at all. This is a rugged, durable feeling knife with solid ergonomics on it and a really good fit and finish. So there's your size comps. Let me summarize on this. The Grebe is $70. They also make a tantoed version of it as well, which is pretty cool. That comes in a silver stonewashed blade. Otherwise, it's the same handle design. The tanto is pretty cool looking as well. I've seen a few of those. I just feel like QSP is filling up another part of their lineup with knives that fit into that budget / affordable price range. Again, this knife is around 70 bucks. Can be had for a little less than that if you buy it at the right place with some discounts. But it's generally going to be about a $70 knife. Good 14C steel, multiple deployment methods, excellent button lock, no lock stick on this thing at all. Fires out there, feels really solid, durable, good fit and finish. So again, if that's what you're looking for, this QSP Grebe definitely fits the bill for that. It's a keeper. And I would say I do recommend the Grebe if you're looking for a knife in this price range that you plan on using every day, because this is definitely going to be a great user and give you lots of good years of service. All right, that's all I got for you today. That's the CSP Grebe. Thanks for watching. Please consider hitting the like button down there for me if you enjoyed the video, and subscribing to my channel if you are not already. I appreciate you guys coming over. Thanks for checking it out, and stay sharp, everyone.